Welcome to today's yoga class, Vinyasa Flow. We're going to be starting in a comfortable seat in the center of the mat. So either cross-legged, on your knees, whatever feels most appropriate and comfortable for you today. Wherever you're at, sit up straight, relax the shoulders down the back, and begin to come into your breath, noticing the inhales and the exhales. Bringing your hands to your knees or next to you on the floor. Finding a spot unmoving in front of you to gaze at as we begin to prepare for our practice. Taking a full inhale, exhale out through the mouth. And then just begin with some very small circles, beginning to rotate the torso around the tailbone. Starting in one direction, making some circles, slowly getting a little bigger, widening the circle a little more each rotation. And begin to connect that rotation with the breath, maybe inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you lean back. Begin to get wider and wider until you're rocking a little bit on your hips. And then gently stop and go the other direction, but start wide this time. So starting with really large circles, the opposite direction. Linking to the breath. And slowly closing in that circle, getting your rotations a little more narrow. Still breathing deep. Continuing to draw that awareness closer to your body on the mat. Deep within, slowing down and making those circles even tinier until you're barely circling. And you come to a stop. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, the right hand to the mat. Reach the left arm up, side body stretch. And inhale, both arms up again. Exhale, left arm down, side body stretch to the other side, lifting up as you press the left hand down. Inhale, back to center, arms to your side. Make your way to tabletop. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And we'll take some cat and cow posture. So here's the dynamic movements. You're moving with the breath. So dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, and lifting the back of the head towards the tailbone as you open the throat. This is your inhale. And then exhale, you're going to curl the spine, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. Curl the back as you press the belly in, tuck the chin. Exhale even more. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, cat. And continue with these movements in your own breath rhythm, beginning to tune into how much you want to arch your back on the cats, how much feels good to drop the bellies on the cows. And then come to neutral spine. Lift the right knee off the mat and begin to take some small circles, one direction. And then slowly make your way to the other way. Opposite direction, hip circles. And lower that right knee on the mat, lift the left knee, same thing, other side. Some gentle hip openers. And circling the knee, one direction. Gently stopping and switching directions, going the other way. Good, then plant that knee back down, tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the knees just a couple inches off the mat. Exhale, lower. Scoop the belly, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lift the knees a few more inches off the mat. Exhale, lower. Walk the hands a few more inches towards the top of the mat, preparing for our first downward facing dog. Spin the forearms forward. Fingertips spread wide, tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the knees. Then send the hips back like you're about to pounce. Look back at your knees and slowly begin to lengthen through the backs of the legs as you lift your hip bones up. Your knees can stay bent here, but your spine should be straight and you're pressing your chest towards your thighs, looking back at your knees. 3 breaths here. Feel free to pedal out your heels. Deepening the head belly on the inhales, deepening the inhales to the belly. Lengthening out the exhales to the nose. Look towards the top of the mat and tiptoe to a forward fold. Feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. Maybe up to your thighs. You want that long, straight spine. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rolling is in slow motion up to stand. Bending the knees, then straightening the legs. Rolling the shoulders up and down the back, lengthening through the neck as you lift your chin, gaze forward. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Slight bend in the knees as you dive the chest over the thighs. Drop the fingertips to the mat, drop the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands as much, bend your knees as much as you need to plant your hands. Step both feet back, finding a plank, top of a push-up. Again, spinning those forearms forward. Lifting through the core, lifting through the hips, press the heels back. But shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower the knees, then the chest to the mat between your hands. Lower the chin like a little inchworm. Untuck the toes, inhale to cobra, lowering to your belly, relaxing the shoulders down the back as you lift your heart off the mat. Squeeze the elbows in, tops of the feet, press into the mat. 3 breaths here. Looking straight down. Find some length on the inhales. Make this active. Spin the inner thighs up. Reaching the toes back. One more inhale, maybe lifting a little higher into that cobra. Exhale, lower the forehead to the mat. Tuck the toes, lifting up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips. Pressing the chest towards the thighs. Relaxing the head and the neck. Take a big breath out. And look between your hands and step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And on your inhale, you're going to slowly roll up to stand. Bring the arms up with you. And then exhale, take cactus arms. So we're going to lower the elbows about 90 degrees, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. These are your cactus arms or goalpost arms, you might hear them called. Squeezing the elbows down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening through the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale to chair, knees bent, arms rise. Scoop the tailbone, lift the heart, relax the shoulders. Breathe here. Weight is in the heels, look down, you should be able to wiggle and see your toes. One more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step the feet back to plank. Lower to your belly for cobra. Just peeling the heart off the mat. You shouldn't have too much weight in your hands. You should be able to lift them off the mat. Use the feet, the legs, the core, the back to keep you lifted. Tuck your toes, lower the forehead. Preparing to lift up on your inhale, shifting back to downward facing dog. Bring the right foot forward for warrior one. Back heel spins down. Take a second to ground down. Squeeze the legs together like you're gathering this energy up, and then inhale the arms overhead. Sinking into your front right knee. Reach up, pull the left hip forward, the right hip back, squaring the hips towards the top of the mat. So both hip points are on the same plane. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands on either side of the right foot. Step that right foot back, lower to your belly, maybe through knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower the forehead. Inhale, pressing up and back to downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward for warrior one on the other side. Spin the right heel down. Ground down. Inhale, gather that energy up, and then inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Back leg is straight. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. Breathe here, you've got it. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands on either side of the foot. Step the left foot back, finding plank. Then exhale, lower to your belly. Maybe your knees, chest, chin. Inhale to that cobra. 90-degree angles with the elbows. Fingertips spread wide next to your chest. Remember, using your core strength, your body strength, not the hands, to keep yourself lifted here in cobra. One more breath in. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Lift up to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Settle in and try to find a stance that feels somewhat grounding and kind of like your home base. And if you're new to the practice of yoga, this will feel like anything but a kind of resting point, but eventually you'll get there. This is one of the most neutralizing yoga poses. Feel the weight in the heels. Keep a slight bend in the knees if you need. Look back at your feet. Relax the head. One more breath in and out. Look between your hands and step towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale brings you to halfway lift, hands to your shins or wherever they need to go to keep your back straight. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair, sweep the arms down and then forward as you sink the hips back, weight in the heels, slight tuck of the tailbone, lift through the chest, lift through the heart. One more breath in here. Exhale to stand to mountain. Bring the palms together, heart center, close the eyes or lower the gaze to the fingertips. Take a few breaths here to gather in your thoughts, your breath, your energy. Feel the heartbeat begin to increase. Maybe you feel it against the thumbs. Breathe in the life force that's moving through you. Maybe a little gratitude that you have this ability to move the body on the mat, to be standing exactly where you're standing right here, right now. And through this practice of yoga, connecting movement to breath, we're able to better take care of ourselves, better understand ourselves, and better interact with others when we get off the mat later. So coming back to our mountain pose, lowering the hands to either side. Feet feeling firm and stable. Spin the legs, the inner legs forward. Little bend in the knees and feel a sense of grounding. So put your hands on your hips and feel the grounding down through the legs as you could grow roots into the earth. Lengthen through the spine, release the hands to either side. On an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to chair, knees bend, arms rise, sink the hips back. Remember, weight in the heels. One more inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to diver's pose, send the arms back as you lift up on your toes. Maybe hinging the hips forward, straight back, arms pointing like you're looking over the top of the diving board. Exhale to chair. Inhale, standing up, reaching up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Take it down. Inhale, halfway lift, wherever you need your hands, lengthen through the spine, gazing straight down. One more breath in to lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step the left foot back, low lunge. Lower the left knee to the earth, untuck the toes. And when you're ready, sweep the arms up overhead. On an exhale, shift the weight back, lifting the right toes, half splits. And then on your inhale, you're going to come forward to a deep crescent lunge, shifting the weight forward, lifting the arms up, maybe arching in the back a little bit. So that's your inhale. And exhale to half splits. And don't get afraid of that word splits. You can just shift the weight back. You can keep a little bend in your knee like I'm doing. Keep the heart lifted. Inhale to your low, deep lunge. Exhale, half splits. Shift the weight back, pull the right heel, right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale one more time, deep lunge. Exhale back to your low lunge, hands to frame the foot, tuck the back toe, lift it up. Keep the left hand planted, but inhale, reach the right arm up as you twist in towards your right leg. Look up at your fingertips. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, drop that hand back, reaching back. And then inhale, cartwheel that hand back to frame the front foot. Step forward to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. On an inhale, roll the spine up to stand. Bring your arms up with you on the inhale. Exhale, right back down for the other side, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold this time. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, low lunge. Lower the right knee, untuck the right toes. Pull that left hip back, right hip forward as you reach the arms up. Exhale, half splits. Begin to lengthen through that left leg, left toes come up, arms come down to the mat. Bring the left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale to your deep low lunge. Plant that left foot back on the mat, press the hips forward, reach the arms up and back. Exhale, half splits. Your inhale brings you back to that deep lunge. Exhale, half splits. Go ahead and take that one more time in your own pace. Find an inhale to your lunge. Exhale, plant your hands on either side of the foot. Tuck those back toes, lifting up to runner's lunge. Plant that right hand on the inside of the foot and reach the left arm up as you twist in towards your left knee. Reach up, look up. And then exhale, drop that left hand back over your back, reaching towards your foot. Inhale, left arm up, cartwheel it down to frame your front foot. And then we're stepping forward to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Drop the head, slight bend in the knees if you need. Inhale, roll it up to stand. Arms come up overhead. Exhale to mountain. Take a breath, take a rest. On your next breath in, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale it down. Inhale to chair, drop the hips. Reach the arms up, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Shift the weight forward, spin the forearms towards the top of the mat, and then exhale, lower either all the way to your belly or knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra, lifting the heart. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and lower the gaze so you lengthen through the back of the neck. Final inhale here. Exhale, lower the forehead. Tuck the toes, press up back to your plank. Downward facing dog, lifting the hips, maybe walking your heels in. Long through the arms and the spine, gaze back towards your knees. Inhale, reach that right heel up and back. And bending the knee, pull that heel in towards your glutes, opening the hip towards the right side of the mat. And then exhale, extend, and lower that leg back down, other side. Lift the left heel up, reaching that foot back. Bend the knee and tuck that left heel in towards your left glute. Open the hip towards the left by stacking your knee over your hip. Exhale, lower it back down. Exhale, shift forward, lowering the knees to the mat. Shifting the hips over the heels. Bring your right arm behind you, lift that left arm up, coming up off your hips. Reach towards the sky, heart comes up as the left arm drops back. Exhale, sit it back down. Swing that left hand gently behind you. Other side, right arm comes up as you press your hips towards the sky, reaching up with the heart. Right arm drops back. Exhale, sitting it back down. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take your time. Spread the fingertips wide. Catch your breath. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Send the hips back and then lengthen through the legs. 2 more breaths in downward dog. Maybe you pedal out your heels. And then find your right foot and bring that to the top of the mat between the feet, warrior two. Back heel spins down, right heel is in line with the back arch. Ground down, and then inhale, cartwheel the arms open. Right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. Press the hips forward. Press the feet into the mat. Reaching the arms out. Breathe. Don't forget, every breath is linked with a movement. Reach the right arm forward, flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior, bringing the right arm up, left arm down the back leg. And let your exhale bring you to side angle lunge, right elbow to right knee, left arm comes up overhead. Breathe in. Maybe dropping that left arm overhead a little more. Big exhale out. Inhale back to warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands to frame the front foot and spin the hips down. So your back heel is up, hips are facing the earth. Lower the left knee, take one more low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, press the hips forward. Exhale to standing splits. Plant your hands on either side of the right foot, tuck the back toes, lifting up. Begin to shift the weight forward on your right foot as you lift from your inner thigh, that left leg off the mat. Maybe you can straighten your right leg. Maybe you can't. Maybe your toes barely hover above the mat. Wherever you are, breathe in here. Relax the neck. One more inhale. And as you exhale, cross that left leg behind the right and drop the toes off the side of the mat. Curtsy. Inhale, lift the chest, bring the arms back behind you like airplane arms. You'll be in like you're curtsying to a king or a queen. Firm down in the right foot and inhale, begin to bring that left knee up with you to one-legged mountain. Left knee is lifted. Exhale, lower, find your mountain pose. Exhale it out. Take a breath in. Slow exhale. On an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. You can go right to downward facing dog here. Otherwise, if you'd like to lower through, you can lower your body down to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel steps forward, this time warrior two. Back heel spins down. Right toes are facing the right edge of the mat, left toes are facing the top. Squeeze the legs in towards each other, powering up, and then inhale, cartwheel the arms open. Sink down into your lunge. So warrior two is opening through the hips and the shoulders as you're still gathering that energy up through the legs. Sink down, reach it out, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then reach forward with the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Breathe in here, side body expands with the breath. And then inhale back to warrior two, side angle lunge, left elbow to left knee. Reach the right arm up overhead. Spin the chest open towards the top of the room, the ceiling. And then inhale that right arm back and up to warrior two. Sink it down. Exhale, cartwheel our hands to frame your front foot and spin the hips down. So right heel comes up. Staying lifted. And then lower the right knee. Untuck the toes. Deep low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up as you press the hips forward. Exhale to half splits. Bring the hands to either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes. Shift the weight forward to your left foot and begin to balance on that left foot as you reach the right toes off the mat. Lifting from the inner right thigh as you lift that leg up. Keep the hips level here, so this isn't not opening the hip. We're still keeping them squared towards the mat. Relax the head. Breathe. Think weightlessness in the head. Let it just hang there. Relax the jaw. Use this opportunity to let everything dump out of your head that you don't need. On an inhale, keeping that right leg lifted, halfway lift. So tense up in the fingertips, lengthen through the spine, and then drop that right leg behind the left to the outside for our curtsy. So right toes on the outside of the left mat. Swing the arms back behind you, kind of in a forward or halfway lift with the torso. Arms press back. Press down into the left foot to inhale to that one-legged mountain, bringing the right knee up with you, with your arms. Stay lifted, ground down through that left foot. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower that foot, finding your mountain pose. Take a breath, take a rest. Deep breath in. Slow exhale. As you're ready, coming back to the top of the mat. I'm going to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Step it back to plank. Lower to your belly. Inhale to cobra. Couple breaths here. Fingertips next to your chest, elbows squeezing together, shoulders away from the ears. When you're ready, look down, lower the forehead, tuck the toes, press it up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. You guessed it. Couple breaths here. And look towards the top of the mat. Hop to toes, step to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, roll the spine slowly up. Arms stay down at your side. Take a few shoulder rolls. Up towards the ears, exhaling down the back. And then bring your hands to your hips and hop the feet apart or step your feet about hips width distance apart here. A little buoyancy in the knees, so bounce around a little bit. And keep those leg channels open. Anytime you're in a forward fold or hanging over your legs, you don't want to lock them out. Keep a little buoyancy. On an inhale, lift the heart, slightly tuck the tailbone, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold forward and take your hands underneath your feet. So you're kind of like stepping on the palms of your hands. Walk the feet up so they heel, so the toes are tickling your wrists. Inhale, halfway lift, bend your knees as much as you need, straight spine, look down. Exhale, forward fold. Press the feet into the hands. Begin to slowly shift the weight forward as you lift up through the hips, through the tailbone. And again, finding some weightlessness in the head and the neck. We'll be here for 2 more rounds of unhurried breath. Drawing the awareness in. Exhaling distractions out. On your next inhale, look up. Move your feet from underneath your hands. Bring the hands to your hips and slowly inhale it up. Bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms, elbows down, doing about 90 degrees. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold. And the feet are wide apart here, so we're going to heel toe them together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot to the back of the mat and lower the left knee. So similar to where we've been before in this low lunge, we're actually going to bring both hands on the inside of the foot for lizard pose. So plant your hands down on the inside of the foot. Now, if you'd like a little bit more active pose, if you're feeling pretty energetic, you want a challenge, you can lift that back leg up. Either way, you're going to pull that right hip back and that left hip forward. So you'll feel the difference in your hips there. You can stay here, or you can slowly begin to lower down, maybe to the forearms. Maybe you just stay here. This is looks good for me today. You'll feel it deep in that right hip. So be gentle with yourself. Don't go too far. It's not a contest. Work with your body, not against it. Relax your head and your neck. A couple more breaths here. On an inhale, look up. If you're not already lifted off that knee, tuck the toes, lift back up onto that knee, and walk the hands over the left side of the mat until you find a wide-legged forward fold. So from here, halfway lift, tent up on your fingertips, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, fold. So press the hips back, weight comes forward to the balls of the feet. Let the head hang heavy. Slight bend in the knees if you need. Remember, don't lock them out. Full deep breaths. On your next inhale, halfway lift, tense up on your fingertips, long through the spine. And then just walk your hands to the back of the mat until you find lizard pose on the other side. So now your hands should be on the inside of the left foot. Lower the back knee or keep it lifted if you're going for that extra challenge. Pull the front leg hip back, right hip forward. Finding your lizard pose on the other side. Each side of the body is going to be a little bit different, so you might find you have a little bit more space in the hip to lower down more. Maybe you stay lifted. Keep the spine somewhat straight here, so you don't want to lower down just for the sake of it. Lower the gaze though, and breathe in deep to that hip, wherever you're feeling it. Relax the jaw. Send the inhale to where you feel the sensation. And let your exhale bring some softness, some ease. On an inhale, look up halfway. If you're not already there, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and walk the hands over the side of the mat until you come back to another wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, tent the fingertips, and exhale, fold. This time bringing your hands to your heels or your ankles, if you can reach. If not, you can keep your hands to either side. Inhale, halfway lift. Long through the spine, gaze straight down. Shift the weight to the balls of your feet, and then exhale, fold, lifting up through the tailbone, lowering down through the crown of the head. We'll just hang out here, literally hang for a couple breaths. Keep the leg channels open, no locking out the knees. Release your hands from your feet, bring them right underneath you. Walk the hands out in front of the feet a little bit. Plant the left hand in the center of the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And twist and stretch. Exhale, lower that right hand planted in the middle. And switch sides. Inhale, reach the left arm up, opening through the heart, maybe gazing up towards the left fingertips. Exhale, lower that left hand down. Look towards the top of the mat, make your way there. Step to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, roll the spine. Inhale, arms all the way up overhead. Bring the palms together and then exhale them down through heart center. Take a breath in, focus your energy. Bringing it all in towards the center of the body. So grounding down to the feet, pulling the energy up through the earth, up to your core. Big exhale out, release the hands. Shift the weight to the left foot. Begin to lift that right knee up. Maybe you grab that right knee and tuck it in close. We can stay here. Or if you'd like to try the next step, you can take your right hand, 2 peace fingers, and bring it to your toe. Left hand comes to your not your shin, your hip. On an inhale, straighten up. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you begin to extend that leg out in front of you. Again, you can hold on to the back of your knee. You can hold on to the front of your knee. Hold on to something. And don't let it be your ego or your pride. We're just here to practice and see how we're feeling. Move a little, breathe a lot. So be gentle with yourself. Pressing out through the heel, stay straight in the spine, and then maybe begin to fold over that leg. On an inhale, slowly come back up. Bring that knee back in. And then lower the foot to the mat. And we'll switch sides, but first shake it out a little bit. Roll the shoulders, shake out the wrists, wipe the sweat, and then find your grounding again. So ground down. Slightly tilt the pelvis forward, tailbone down, broaden through the collarbones. Shift the weight to the right foot this time. Begin to lift that left knee. Hanging onto that left knee, tuck it in for a second. And then if you want to try this side, your extended hand to big toe pose, take your first two fingers, your peace fingers around that big toe. Right hand to your hip, not your shin, your right hip. And then begin to straighten out through that left leg. Or maybe you don't, maybe you keep it in. As long as you're breathing, you're doing okay. Focus your breath, focus the concentration. Straighten a little more on the inhale and then exhale. Maybe begin to fold over that leg. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale to stand back up. Pull that knee back in. Hug it. Slowly lower that knee back to the mat. And then shake it out. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. This time we're going to send our right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the hands down, finding that runner's lunge. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Couple breaths here. Grounding down, preparing for our next standing splits. So shift the weight forward to the left foot, reach that right foot back. So see if you can find a similar pose to where we just were. So our left foot is planted. Take your left hand and bring it to your left ankle, maybe your left toe. As you're lifting up from the inner right thigh, drop the head and the neck. Maybe you play around with balancing and lifting that right hand. Maybe not. Maybe it comes to your hip. Keep grounding down through the left foot. Bring both hands back to the mat. Step the right foot back, warrior two. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, cartwheel the hands up, bending into that front knee. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Step to forward fold. Other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step the left foot back now. High runner's lunge. Right hip pulls back. Left hip pulls forward. Shift the weight to the right foot. Looking straight down. Begin to shift your weight to the right foot, lifting the left toes off the mat for your standing splits. Mimicking that same shape we just took in our standing hand to toe pose. But here we are doing it in just a little bit different variation, different relationship to gravity. So if you'd like to try the next little challenge, our right foot is down, so we're going to take our right hand to our right ankle. Keep the neck relaxed, look back at your knee. Find your balance. Press out through that left foot. Keeping the hips square, maybe those left fingertips come off the mat to the left hip. Maybe they don't. Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. If you can't get it, it's just as good as where you are. Bring the hands back to the mat. Step that left foot to the back of the mat, warrior two. Left toes spin to the face, the left side of the mat. And then inhale, cartwheel the arms up. Right knee bends, left knee straight. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior on an inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame the front foot at the top. Step to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to boat pose. So maybe going through chair, dropping the hips. And then we're going to make our way onto our sitting bones. So begin to drop the hips down, lower down, or plop down nicely like I just did. Pull the shoulders back and lengthen through the spine. So you might want to start by pulling your knees into your chest. You want your spine somewhat straight here, shoulders back. Look straight ahead, hug the belly in. Maybe begin to straighten the toes, the legs. Maybe begin to bring your arms up. One more breath in here, you've got it. I'm right here with you. And then cross your ankles, fold them underneath you, plant your hands, and step that right foot to the back of the mat. Bring the left foot between your hands, finding that low lunge. So similar to our lizard pose, this time our hands are on either side of our foot, and we're really looking to work that right hip flexor. So pull left hip back, right hip forward. Relax your butt so you can feel it deep in that right hip, front right hip. And then begin to bring that left knee back down beneath the right and switch sides. Right foot comes between the feet or between the hands. Lower down into that left hip flexor and pulling that right hip back. You'll feel it on the front top of the leg where it meets the pelvis. You don't keep pulling that left hip forward, right hip back. Maybe widen your stance. And breathe in deeply there. On an inhale, release, coming to your knees, shifting the hips over the heels. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Palms together, tuck, exhaling down through heart center. And then we'll take a child's pose. Bring your hands out in front of you. Walk them out as you lower your chest over your knees. And you've got a couple options here. You can either take child's pose like this. This will help relax the low back. Or if it's more comfortable for you, if you'd like more of a hip release, keep the big toes together, widen the knees to the edges of the mat. And lower the belly between the legs, lower the forehead. And we'll rest here for 3 to 5 breaths. Beginning to cool down as we make our way to our final seated postures. Take a little internal assessment of how you're feeling. How is your breath now that we've been flowing for a little while? Have you found it easier to deepen the breath? Or has this been a challenge for you? Be curious about where you're at. Just take notes. Let it be as it is in the moment. When you're ready, slowly begin to sit up into your hero pose with the knees together. And then just shift the hips to one side. Extend the left leg long out in front of you and tuck that right heel in close. On an inhale, reach the arms up tall and sit up straight. Walk your right foot about a fist distance between your leg and your foot. Again, sitting up tall, and then we're going to fold forward, reaching for our ankle, our shin, our knee maybe. Keep the back somewhat straight here, so we're not going to hunch over just to get farther down the leg. Draw the shoulders back, lengthen through the spine, lift the heart. And then through hinging at the hips, you're going to walk your hands down your leg. Keep the toes pointed back at you so your foot is flexed. Couple breaths here. Tuck the chin. On your next inhale, slowly sit up. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and back behind you. Prop yourself up with your fingertips. Left arm reaches, and then lower that left elbow, finding that goal post arm. Hook your left elbow around your right knee for a twist. Inhale to lengthen, and then moving from the heart, exhale, twist to look over your back arm, over your back right shoulder. Your left hand can stay lifted, or you can lower it to your hip. Whatever is more comfortable for you. We'll just breathe here. Relax the legs. Take one final deep breath in. Slowest exhale you can out. Inhale, come back through center. And we'll switch sides. Extend the right leg long. Pull that left knee in. Your foot should be about fist width distance from your inner thigh. So tucking that leg in. Sitting up tall, arms come up overhead. And exhale, fold forward, reaching towards the end of your leg, but accepting wherever you're at. Maybe the shin, maybe your knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Right hip back. Pulling the heart forward. Keeping some length in the spine. Tuck the chin. Final breath in here. Final exhale. Release on the inhale. Sweep that left arm up, overhead, and back behind you. Prop yourself up with your fingertips at your low spine. Inhale, right arm reaches up, goalpost arms to lower that elbow, and then hook that elbow on the outside of the left knee. Use your breath in to lengthen. Use your breath out to twist, moving from the heart, so we're not pressing ourselves, jerking ourselves into the twist. We're letting it unfold naturally with the breath. Good life lesson there as well. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling, releasing into that twist a little deeper maybe. Maybe you come out of the twist, you notice you went a little too far. No shame in that. Take a final biggest breath in your twist, followed by the slowest exhale out. Then inhale to unwind. Extend the legs long, shake them out. And then scoot forward to the middle of the mat, lower onto your back. We're going to take 3 rounds of bridge pose. So you're going to walk your heels back towards your hips. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Imagine you've got a block between your legs, so you're going to energetically squeeze the legs together. You're keeping that space, but you're imagining you have to hold that block from falling. So your inner thighs are active, the inner parts of the feet are pressing down, so you're pressing the arch of your foot down into the mat. Long through the spine, arms relaxed at your side, and engaging the belly, wrapping the muscles up and in. You're going to lift from your core. So lift the hips off the mat, creating a bridge underneath your butt. Keep pressing the feet down, keep squeezing that imaginary block. And just hang out here for a couple breaths. Keep the gaze straight up. Relax the butt, use the thighs, use the feet. Relax the jaw. One final inhale. Exhale, slowly lower all the way back down to the mat. Windshield wiper your knees, dropping them down to one side and then the other. Neutralizing the spine. Before we move to our second round of bridge pose. So same thing, heels walk in, maybe you can touch them with your fingertips. Engage the legs, engage the belly. Palms flat on the earth. When you're ready, lifting from your core, inhale the hips up, pressing the hips forward towards the ceiling. Keep the length in the back of the neck so your neck is relaxed. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, not required. It's not the best cue for everyone, and the only way to know if it's good for you is to feel it out and listen to yourself before you listen to my cues or any other teacher's cues. But if you want to try it, see if you can clasp your fingertips together underneath you, wiggle the shoulder blades together, press the forearms down into the mat. You'll feel an opening in the heart as you maybe can lift up a little bit higher here. Taking the other bridge is just fine as well. Same pose, same benefits, no reason to push it too much. On the other end, if you need a little challenge, you find yourself a little slow in getting up, getting done what you need to do, need a little bit of an energizer, I would recommend trying this out. One final breath in. If you clasp your fingertips, gently release. Lower the shoulder blades to the mat. And exhale, lower that bridge down. We'll take some windshield wipers left and right. And enjoy that sensation of the heart opener. So when we broaden through the chest like that and open our heart, it can feel really freeing. It can also feel a little overwhelming sometimes. So you have any kind of thoughts, emotions coming up, just breathe through them. Take a break if you need. Otherwise, we're going to prepare for our final bridge pose. So you've got a couple options there. You can also just stay right here in this posture and breathe if that is what feels best for you right now. If you want to lift up that bridge, plant the hands, again, engage the legs. Lifting from the belly button, inhale it up. Take an exhale out through the mouth. Maybe you clasp your hands underneath, wiggle the shoulders together, lifting up a little bit higher. And then maybe shift the weight to the left foot and begin to lift that right leg off the mat and up. Maybe you don't get too far. Maybe you get just the toes off. Inhale, lift a little higher. Slow and controlled, exhale, lower that foot. Shifting to the other side, shift the weight to the right foot. Begin to lift the left leg up, straight up towards the sky. Or at least reaching that way, you'll get there. Maybe not today, maybe not this year. But with everything, that practice makes permanent, new muscle memory. Shaking is good. Exhale, slowly lower. Plant that foot back down. Lift a little higher to release the arms. And relax the back down. Extend the legs long. Take a big stretch, realigning the spine. Point the toes, reach the arms up overhead. And then exhale the knees in towards your chest. And enjoy curling into a little ball and rocking left and right on the spine. Take a few more deep breaths in and out. And then keeping that right knee hugged in, extend the left leg long. We'll take wind removing pose. So flatten out through that left foot, flexing through the left foot. Clasp the fingertips around the knee and draw that right knee in towards your armpit as you press the left leg down into the mat. We'll be here for 3 rounds of breath. Continue to slow down your exhales. Taking audible inhales through the nose. And then with your left hand, take that right leg and pull it across your body for a twist to the left. So your knees pulling over to the left side of the mat. Extend the right arm long and look over your right shoulder. Allowing gravity to soften you towards the mat. Relax the face. A few more breaths here in our twist. On an inhale, bring the gaze back up to the ceiling. Bring the knee back up. And squeeze both knees in, giving yourself a hug again before we switch sides. Hug the left knee and right leg extends long. Wind removing pose, other side, clasping the fingertips, pulling that left knee in towards your left armpit as you press out through that right foot. So straighten through that right leg, tuck the chin. Relax the face and the jaw here. And then with that right hand, take the left knee, pull it across your body towards the right. So left knee to the right. Left arm extends out next to you and look over your left shoulder to complete the twist. Relax it down. Breathe. Allow the shoulders to melt towards the earth. Extending the exhales a little longer than your inhales. On your next inhale, bring the gaze up. Bring the knee back up. Tuck the knees in, another squeeze. And then plant the feet down, knees still bent. Bring the right ankle over the left knee. So the supine figure four. So on our backs, figure four pose as if you are sitting cross-legged in a chair. Now you can stay here, or you can lift that left foot off the mat, reach between the opening of your legs to grab onto your hamstring, lower the head and the neck back on the mat. It's another deep hip stretch. So the more you pull that left knee in and energetically press that right knee away, the deeper stretch you'll get in that right side. So spend a breath or two finding that spot, that bittersweet stretch. You should have no sharp pain. That's a good indication you went too far or this isn't the right pose for you right now. Otherwise, breathe in. Soften through the exhales. I like to bring a little rocking, gentle rocking to this posture. So maybe you want to rock left and right on the hips and try that out. And just a few more breaths. And come back to stillness. Release that left leg, lower it down. Extend the right leg long with the foot facing the ceiling. And bend that right knee, plant that foot back down on the mat. Other side. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Lift that right foot up, reach between to grab behind the right knee, grabbing onto your hamstring. And only as much as you need, gently coax that right leg in towards you as you gently press that left knee away. So you're not physically pressing it away, it's that isometric action of pressing the left knee away from you as you draw the right leg towards you. You'll feel it in that left side hip, maybe in the glutes, maybe the hamstring attaches where it attaches to the pelvis. Bring a slight tuck to the chin and make sure your neck, head, and spine are fully on the mat. And then if you did so on the other side, introduce some gentle rocking left and right here. Take a final few inhales and exhales. And then coming back to center, lower that right leg, extend the left leg straight up towards the ceiling, and then plant the foot. Bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to open. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Feeling that connection between the heart, the breath, the body and the mind. Begin to relax your body down. Letting go of feeling like you have to hold yourself up. Slowly begin to lengthen the legs out towards the back of the mat. Laying straight down on your back, release the hands if you'd like. You can also stay in that posture for Shavasana if you'd like. So lying comfortably on your back, the legs extended and the arms at your side. Palms up or down. Take this final resting posture. Begin to release the breath awareness. So you're just breathing naturally. Give a final wiggle to the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles, and then fall absolutely still. It's here in this final posture where we reap all of the benefits of the flowing and breathing, sweating and stretching, You deserve this time after hard work to rest, not just in yoga class, but in life otherwise. Taking these moments to ourselves are just as much a part of productivity as the active part. So with that, I'll allow you to relax down. Allow yourself to drift. I'll let you know when it's time to reawaken. Slowly and gently begin to bring your awareness to your body laying on the mat. And expanding your awareness to your presence in your space in this room. And gently bring some small movements back to the body. Slowly reawaken. Begin to bend the knees, walk the heels in towards your hips. And lower the knees to one side and roll in, curling in towards yourself. We'll spend just a few breaths here. Remembering you always have yourself to turn into for whatever answers you need. When you take the time to move and breathe, spend some time in quiet, undistracted presence, you'll be able to more easily access that wisdom, the true self within you. That is where our deepest happiness and fulfillment comes from, is when we can be in direct communication with our innermost self. And as you're ready, gently pressing yourself up to sit, keeping the eyes closed, or softly gazing down in front of your feet. Find a comfortable seat. Bring the hands to the knees. And then inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, lower them down. Bring the palms to heart center and gaze down at your fingertips. And inhale, lift those fingertips, palms up through the center line, past your face, all the way up, reaching up, looking up towards your hands. And then exhale, release the palms, lowering your arms to either side of you. Take a big breath out. Welcome yourself back to your day. Enjoy a few moments of peace and quiet after this practice. And thank you for sharing your energy and your sweat with me. And I'll see you again on virtual mat.